Video 6, we're still dealing with triangles, but we're going to add something special. We're going to talk about an exterior angle in a triangle. So first, we need to know what the exterior angle theorem is, and we need to know what an exterior angle is. We need to identify when it's appropriate to use this theorem, set up an equation using this theorem, and solve for missing angles using this theorem. So this whole video is going to be about our exterior angle theorem. So first, before we even get into this vocabulary, let's talk about what an exterior angle is. So an exterior angle is an angle that's on the outside of the triangle that's made with one of the sides. So for example, if I see side PQ here, how it extends past the triangle, and it makes angle 4. Angle 4 is actually my exterior angle, right? That's really important. And if we go to the definition of the theorem, is that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the remote angles. So what does it mean to be remote angles? Those are going to be the two angles that are not adjacent to the exterior. So if we look at the picture here, we can see that 3 and 4 are exterior because they share this side. So that's going to make 1 and 2 the remote angles. That means that angle 1 plus angle 2 equals angle 4. Alright, so this is a little different from what we've been doing before because now we're setting angles equal to each other rather than equal to 180 degrees. Alright, so we just have to be aware of when to use each one. And some problems are going to require to use both at the same time. So we'll see some of those down the example here. So, example 1, solve for angle 1. So, we have an isosceles triangle. These two are the same. We also know that these two angles are the same. So I'm going to start with 180 minus 54 and then divide that by 2 because that's going to tell me what each of these angles are. That gets me 63 degrees each. So this is 63 and this is 63. Now, using the exterior angle theorem here, if I want to find angle 1, I'm going to use 54 and 63 and I'm going to add those together. So 54 plus 63 gives me 117, and that's going to be my value for angle 1. Okay, that's how we would set that up and solve. Some of you might be saying that, hey, this looks like a linear pair to me, so can I just do 180 minus 63, and you're actually going to also get 117. So yes, that's okay, but sometimes that's not going to be possible. So you really do need to know this theorem, including the idea that it's a linear pair. Because if we look at example 2, it says solve for x. We don't have anything here that we can really do for a linear pair, and we can't solve for it because this angle is also an expression, all right? So if this is my exterior angle, because it's outside the triangle, these are my two remotes, so I'm going to add those together. So we're going to do 25 plus x plus 15 and set that equal to 3x minus 10. Combine my 25 and my 15, get x plus 40 equals 3x minus 10. We're going to subtract x from both sides and add 10 to both sides. We get 50 equals 2x, and we get x equals 25. And that's all it asks for. It doesn't ask us to plug back in or solve for any angles. All right, so I only got one more for this one. I figured I made this one pretty short. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. So on solve for angle E, there's probably 3 or 4 ways to do this question. I'm going to show you the way that stands out to me the most. Okay, so what I'm going to start by looking at is I'm going to start by focusing on this 115 and this linear pair here. So the first thing I'm going to do is 180 minus 115, and I'm going to get 65 degrees. And I'm actually going to put that right here, 65. All right, the next thing I'm going to focus on is this triangle with this exterior angle. So I know because the exterior angle theorem here, I can add these two together. So I'm going to do 65 plus 35, and I'm going to get that as 95 degrees. So this angle down here is going to be 95 degrees. And then the last part I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this gigantic triangle, and I have angle E 34 and 95. So I can actually set that up in my equation from the last video as 34 plus 95 plus E equals 180, and I can solve from here. Right? And if you go through this process, the algebra, I'm going to skip the algebra here to try to shorten up the video for you. Angle E should be 51 degrees. All right, so that's really it for exterior angle. These questions are probably the hardest, where you have to see that the exterior angles in this big picture here, but we got a bunch of practice problems we can work on together in class. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, don't forget, get your question here, short summary, and I'll see you guys for the next one.